Welcome back to this ministry in the wilderness. Today we hear another parable about the nature of the kingdom of heaven. Each of these use metaphors and descriptions from everyday life. Yet the message Jesus was also preaching is that the kingdom of God is here, that the kingdom of God has come. Remember, we live on a blessed planet. Life here is an ongoing miracle. Even though there is strife and pain, it is us who fail to see how the miracle of life exists everywhere. Even where we fail to see it, it's still there. Here we hear about envious workers, something which is absolutely normal. A reading from Matthew chapter 20, verses 1 through 16. Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire laborers for his vineyard. After agreeing with the laborers for a usual daily wage, he sent them into his vineyard. When he went out about 9 o'clock, he saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and he said to them, 'You also go to the vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right.' So they went. When he went out again about noon, and about 3 o'clock, he did the same. And about 5 o'clock, he went out and found others standing around, and he said to them, 'Why are you standing idle all day?' They said to him, 'Because no one has hired us.' He said to them, 'You also go into the vineyard.' When evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his manager, 'Call the laborers and give them their pay, beginning with the last and then going to the first.' When those hired about 5 o'clock came, each of them received the usual daily wage. Now when the first came, they thought they would receive more, but each of them also received the usual daily wage. And then when they received it, they grumbled against the landowner, saying, 'These last worked only 1 hour, and you made them equal to us, who have borne the burden of the day and the scorching heat.' But he replied to one of them, 'Friend, I am doing you no wrong. Did you not agree with me for the usual daily wage? Take what belongs to you and go. I choose to give to the last the same as I give to you. Am I not allowed to do what I choose with what belongs to me? Or are you envious because I am generous? So the last will be first, and the first will be last.'" So the kingdom of heaven is like life, where we are asked to labor to make it better, to harvest its bounty. We could choose to see with the wonder of a child how the vineyard grows each season and produces fruit which we can eat or make into wine. We could feel the warmth of a sun on our shoulder and hear the voices of our friends working around us. The kingdom of heaven is like a place where we get to participate in life. The kingdom of heaven is like life, where some people get hired before others, where the sun shines down on all, where at the end of the day we are given an amount we agreed to before we did the work. And the kingdom of heaven is like a place where people complain about others getting the same as them, even though they worked less. What is this like today? Well, it's like where some folks have been given the blessings and bounties of living in a free society, or loving the persons that they want to love, or being treated by their physicians about their own personal medical situations. And yet some others see those people and they're getting the same freedoms and grace as them and same wages. They complain. They're not being given less because in the bounty of life, others get grace too. Yet they begrudge grace given to others. They begrudge what they think is cheap grace. Others came late. We should get more than we agreed to or really need because of others being treated the same as us. This is normal in our existence. And it too is what the kingdom of heaven is like. Do the original laborers see this as heaven? No, they don't. Even though it was at the beginning of the day, when they were happy to start work, they might have seen it as heaven. Does their feelings change? The change in their feelings change the state and nature of the kingdom? Not in the least. The person's hired later in the day, getting paid the same, does not mean they're getting less. Envy blinds them, the first workers, from their grace. Blinds them from seeing heaven, knowing divine love, which is what the wages represent. There are so many things, so many instances where we can turn away from the truth of existence. Slights, injuries. If God loved us, for God is always a he in scriptures, but not in truth, he would protect us constantly, keeping all the bad in the world, which of course is not from God, from occurring. If we have to experience evil and injury, then we must have sinned. It is our fault. What a limited view of the divine. Now, the kingdom of heaven, which in essence is the place where God abides, is like the totality of life. Sometimes we get hired early, sometimes at the end of the day, sometimes not at all. There is not a limit to the plenty life has to give, unless through our greed and avarice we hoard the plenty and do not share it with others. We try to shape our interactions with God in our own way, like little children who complain at Christmas that they didn't get the same number of presents as their siblings. God, you must love me in the way that I want. You must deny your love to your other children that I don't like. Do not punish me, but punish others. Only be generous with me and mine. Give us our daily bread, but don't give it to the unbelievers, or even believers who aren't part of our particular sect or group. Yes, and even with this very small image of the divine, this is the kingdom, and we are part and parcel of it. We must see God in existence, or we won't see God at all. We are being given work, the work we have to do, some early and some late. Sometimes we are asked to do more than we can handle. So ask for help. You aren't alone. There is more. You can experience heaven or hell right here and now, and then that too will probably change with time. We will know peace when we stop begrudging, when we are mindful of our pettiness and envy and look past it, when we rest and enjoy the fruits of our labor in the garden of the Lord, which is what this is. It's where we are living. Knowing life is love, and love and life are the true wages of the kingdom. With plenty to share and more tomorrow. Seek not to be first, because the first shall come last, and the last shall come first. We're always seeking to get ahead, to take more than we need, and that comes out of fear. Rest. Find the peace of God in the garden of the Lord. That's what all of this is about. All of the teachings of Christ is about how we can do that now. Amen. As usual, if you found this homily beneficial, make sure to like and subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. I pray that this endeavor will be meaningful to you and that you will share your journey with others. We may exist in the wilderness, but we are not alone here, rest assured. Leave a comment if you want and come on back to this channel in the wilderness. I remain yours in faith until next time. Blessings to you all.